Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Hub back to the video today. And today we're going to be talking about the Los Angeles Rams potentially trading for backup quarterback for the New York Jets, Zach Wilson. And I got to say, I love the fit for the Los Angeles Rams to bring in Zach Wilson. It's been rumored that two teams would like to bring in Zach Wilson. And I think these are two teams in the NFC West. You couldn't, for Zach, I think if you're Zach Wilson, you have to look at this opportunity to potentially play for one of these teams as a backup quarterback and think to yourself, these one of these two destinations for me, are my best options out there right now, and they're realistic because both will have open, backup quarterback openings this offseason. I think the Rams could really use a backup quarterback. The other team that is interested, the 49ers, I believe Sam Darnold is a free agent. You have Brock Purdy as your starter. You're going to need a backup. I think it'd be great to add in a guy like Zach Wilson. This would be the chance for the 49ers to prove any quarterback can fit in that 49ers Kyle Shanahan system. I think Zach Wilson would really prove that if he could show some good stuff with the 49ers if they ended up trading for him. But honestly, I can't stop thinking about him with the Rams. Because I'm not really worried. I would say if I was more worried about, the two quarterbacks on the other end, the two starting quarterbacks, Brock Purdy and Matthew Stafford. To be honest with you guys, I'd be more worried about Matthew Stafford. And I'm not talking about how these two quarterbacks are going to play, because if I had to pick either one of these quarterbacks, I'm honestly going with Matthew Stafford. I'm talking about health. Matthew Stafford only missed one game in 2023, but we did see him have some really tough injury problems the season before that in 2022. So honestly, I think for the Rams to have a good backup would be great. I think at the end of the season, after we saw Matthew Stafford miss that one game in Week 9, the Rams really started to realize they needed to bring a good backup, and that's why eventually they signed Carson Wentz. Brett Rippon was just not going to work if Matthew Stafford went down. Matthew Stafford missed 2 games during the season. One of the games was because he was resting. The Rams started all their rested all their starters, and the other was because of injury. So he only played 15 games, missed 2, but only one of them was because of injury. But the one where he was injured, which was Week 9 against the Green Bay Packers, Brett Rippon was out there, and to be honest with you guys, I think Zach Wilson as a backup for this Rams team would benefit. McVay is a great head coach, and it's a great offense as well to go to. Loaded offense for a quarterback like Zach Wilson. Sure, he had some good weapons in New York like Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall, but this is on a different level. Let's say Stafford goes down one game. Zach Wilson, if he's starting, he has, Puka Nacua, he has, Cooper Kupp at wide receiver. You want to go over some of the other wide receivers they have? We talked about Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua and how good those two guys were last season for the Rams. Tutu Atwell and Demarcus Robinson played some great football for that Rams offense as well. You got Tyler Higbee at tight end, and also let's not forget about the running back that had an amazing season, was one of the best running backs in the NFL last season, Kyren Williams, and how good he was for that Los Angeles Rams team. That is a loaded offense. Their defense isn't bad either. So I think for Zach Wilson, let's say he goes to the Rams, they trade for him, they trade a late draft pick for him, and Stafford goes down, he has to start a game or two. I think we're seeing a different player than we saw in New York. I'm not saying Zach Wilson's going to be all this change player and he's going to look like the future of the league. I think if you see him play for the Rams, with the weapons he would have on the Rams, I think he would be able to have a normal football game, and he wouldn't look like complete trash like he looked in New York. Honestly, I really think things would be different in a better offense, more weapons. I think the better coaching staff as well. I'm not a big fan of that Jets coaching staff either. I think it'd be a better fit for him. What's even a better fit is that 49ers. You talk about loaded offense, a good coaching staff, that's the 49ers. But honestly, I'd love to see Zach Wilson with Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp if Stafford ever has to, miss a game due to injury next season. And I think Zach Wilson, he's an affordable backup You'd only have to trade a 5th or 6th round pick for him, maybe a 7th. I think I would think a trade cost for Zach Wilson. I think you're looking at maybe a 7th and a 6th round pick, maybe Zach Wilson and a 7th round pick for a 6th and a 5th round pick. I don't know. I think you're gonna give no later than a 5th. It's gonna be a 5th in the area of 5th to 7th round pick, and I think if you're gonna get multiple picks for Zach Wilson, that means you're probably trading a pick with Zach Wilson, just potentially throwing out there, like maybe Zach Wilson in a 7th round pick or Zach Wilson in a 6th round pick for a 6th round pick and a 5th round pick, potentially. But still, I think for the Rams, he'd be a good backup to have if anything ever happens to Stafford. And I think same thing goes with the 49ers if something happens to Purdy. Both teams look like those two teams, the 49ers and the Rams, look like the favorites right now to land Zach Wilson. Let me know your thoughts on the potential trade in the comment section, and peace out.